Okay, so just settling into our seats and positions as we find our breath and as we drop into the heart. And I call upon and invoke the life force power of the universe, Father of our souls. And I call upon the Great Mother of all that is, source of all that is, love, where all comes from. And I ask that we all in this room and those listening be sealed within the highest frequencies of this unlimited love, sealed and alchemized by the cosmic Christ consciousness. And placing a pyramid, upward pointing pyramid around us, and also bringing down a downward pointing pyramid forming the Star of David. And I ask that all that does occur this evening be in accordance to everyone's highest good, according to all cosmic law, perfect timing and perfect love. As we tap into that which we have come from, our deepest, most ancient part of our beings. And so it is. Amen. So becoming very aware of the breath, using the breath to fill and ultimately to let go, to relax the belly. And to now see this chakra column, the Sushumna, the tube of light. As it's postured, vertical, aligned and elegant light source that lies within each of us, and extending this beam of light that is our essence deep down into the core of the earth. So that we are well and truly guided into the groundedness of the earth. And almost feeling the penetration of your entrance. There's an unseen sensory experience of moving through and feeling that we are within the crystalline grid that is the very core of the earth. As we breathe, and allowing the sensory experience of being surrounded deeply in a great cavern of many, many crystals that are huge. Experiencing the extrasensory eminence of the crystalline grid. And almost experiencing the massage around your auric field as you feel the resonance pulsate. Assisting you to feel without boundary as these waves move through you. And not only are they waves that we feel, but there are waves of color. And there is a lot of red. And I call upon Isis. I call upon her to be with us now, as I also call upon Saraswati. To infiltrate and to merge with us deeply, to assist us to feel deep within ourselves our greater magnificence. There is a sensation of dissolving. So allow whatever it may be, and don't allow, or just move aside from your mental body. And just allow whatever it may be to fall down. Gravity is pulling it from you. Doesn't matter what it is. As we breathe in and out. And within the deeper cavern of the deeper heart, simultaneously within the earth and within ourselves, we are being called and escorted to go deeper. And even though we may hesitate, there's almost like there's the part of ourselves that hesitates, and then there's the part that wants to, and then there's the part that's unsure, and all those parts, like a deck of cards, are falling down, and we're going down into the crevasse anyway. And it is new, it is deep. It is very soft. And it also seems like at the moment it is unborn, because it's a bit dark. There's not quite enough light there, and that's why we're a little bit unsure. But it's all right. We're going down into this darker realm that houses our truest selves. We haven't shone these parts for quite some time. And so reaching up into the aspect of your heart that you know truly does shine, and grab the flame within your heart and bring it down into these deeper orifices of the heart. Bring your light, your conscious awareness down, and bring your light. Walking deeper. And on a collective level, we need to do this. We are required to do this. To be courageous, to be brave, to venture into the depths. So at this time, now that we are deep, I want you to call upon and literally beckon into your heart the goddess Saraswati. If you do not know her, call her name, and she will come. She is the goddess of music, of great wisdom, of bringing through from the unseen realms her great feminine essence to you. So allow her to bring the music deep into your heart. And feel the movement, the warmth, her love. And allow her to ask you to dance, to awaken and enliven aspects of your being that hasn't stepped up, has held back, has been quiet. Come forward now and allow her to sweep you with the inner realms of her music. And allow her to bring you completely into the foreground of the heart. And there is a growing pulsation as the heart expands, not just at the front, but to the sides and gently towards the back. There is an invitation. Isis is standing at the back of the heart chakra of everyone partaking, and she has each individual's keys. She has your key. And she wants to place it in the back of your heart. And giving her the permission, if you are feeling ready, to open. For there is need for the back of the heart to release and let go. And as this occurs, it creates actually more space at the back of the neck. The fifth chakra is also involved towards the back, along the spine. And Isis's hand is also working with each one of us, and the focus is on the right side of the fifth chakra, the side of the neck. Encouraging relaxation. Encouraging and offering a greater ability to trust Source. That Source has it taken care of. That we don't need to push or force our will or impress our way. If we let go and allow our greatest desires will occur beyond measure. So the horizontal axis of the fifth is extending out both directions, almost as if there is a beam of light balancing left and right side out beyond the shoulders, beyond the room. Our auric fields are quite expanded. And there is a reconciliation going on. On a collective level, there has been a split. And so our parts, our involvement in this collective split is being worked on within each of us. The right side is somewhat shall I say heavier slightly. The line is not going equally across, so they're repairing that flow through. So where the left and the right aspects of our being, masculine and feminine, meet, that is being married up at the back of the fifth, almost within the bones of the vertebrae. And that assists the mental body, the upper chakras, 6th and 7th, to flow with more ease. And not become caught. And as we breathe in and out, Isis is beginning to work on there seems to be a focus on the right-hand side, the masculine, focusing on our perceptions, and therefore how we receive what we see, how we take in and interpret information through the retina and into our brains. And it also involves the right ear. And there are geometries of light working their way throughout these chakras, and assisting each one to raise their frequency. It's hard to put it into words. It's almost as if we are being given a new ability to utilize our third eye and simultaneously using it as crystalline force of energy, life force of energy that emanates through the brain, through the sixth chakra, in a more effectual way for now and into the future. And this is opening and expanding the third eye. And readying us for the opening, almost like the unveiling up into the seventh chakra. I believe we are being prepared to utilize and move up into the upper chakras, 8 through 12. But this work was required first. And there is a deepening of this crystal, almost like a crystal ball that we've been given at the third eye, and yet this crystal ball has its own life and it's extending its reach down through our vertical alignment. And the sensation of what has been done thus far, described thus far, it is encouraging us to move more forward into who we truly are. It is simply beckoning us to remember our true nature. And the energy is almost impulsing us now to fall forward. So we are moving through the front of our third eyes and rolling forward. So allow the falling forward to occur. Allow yourself to flow into the future, which is simply our now, our present moment. And yet it is a little bit more within this meditation process. For indeed our paths have already been somewhat woven, and yet there are potentialities that are open for our choosing. So the energies, Isis is beckoning us towards the choices that will really tantalize and express our highest good and purpose. So there's almost like a rolling forward and just a flowing of rolling with the waves of light. So just allow yourself to roll and fall forward and be free. For this is the feeling of how the future will be, of how we create. And there is a beautiful ball of light at the top of our sixth chakra now, inviting us to rise into the seventh and upwards into the eighth. About a foot above the crown of the head. So experience and feel that stretch. Become quite aware of the tube that you find yourself within. It is your own passage of your existence, of your consciousness. And yet it is very expansive. So that tube itself that I just addressed is almost falling away as you are given more and more space. And there is a knowing of kinship that almost squeezed the very center of your heart, letting you know that the life force power of the universe is right there. You are safe. You are loved. You are held in love. You are always this great love. And with that little inner squeeze, it is an assurance so that you can trust more and venture further. And discover greater aspects of yourself. So even though we are in the 8th, the 7th continues to open and expand. Ever maintaining the support and assurance. And there is an experience of becoming so broad and expansive that one could lose oneself. And yet, even as that is there, there is the visual of the single eye watching, always guiding and ushering. And this single eye now, its gaze is penetrating into our right eye. Again, a masculine focus, clearing out anything that is not in harmony with the collective now. Where the collective is going on a soul level. So there is literally segments, pieces, I just can't even find the words right now. It's like a defrag of pieces of the movie, digital pixels, falling off, and the right eye is going in an anti-clockwise direction, and the digital pixels are flying off and almost creating a pinwheel of old memories, experiences, visuals, movies, falling away. So that on a collective level we can redirect. We can fall into love's alignment effortlessly. And that sensation is there now in the right eye. And it's almost as if it's not completely or totally translated, but there is a total new vision ahead for the masculine that has been paved that we can now walk towards. All is possible. We have only to dream it, will it, desire it, create it. One foot in front of the other. And even as the right envisions with forethought, the left is steeped in deep kundalini, deep sensual swaying movement of ongoing desire to nourish, to give of herself, and to moisten with her love this forethought that flows through each one of us. It's a feminine and masculine coming together. That is raw and juicy and right there. And so there is a rising coming through the core of the earth, coming through our feet, rising up through our legs, so full. There's a fullness that is welling up through the second and third, entering into the heart, rising. And it is happening within us, and yet it is beyond us. And it is quite zen. I'm actually seeing a beautiful Chinese plain woman rising with her absolute focus, rising up through the central column, within each one of us, assisting us to hold our focus so that we may serve, that we may give of our essence, love, in just the perfect way, at the perfect time. And she flows up through the sixth chakra now, filling and it seems like We are filled to the brim, but it keeps filling, and there's more. As we breathe in and out with this feminine joining with the forethought of the expanded masculine. And it's almost as if the fullness of this feminine flow is now a river that runs into our ongoing futures, fertilizing and freeing and making possible that which was apparently not. And there is a peeling away and a peeling back, so that our awareness is even more expansive. And we find ourselves out in the galaxy now. And we are surrounded by many, many beings of extraordinary light, with countless gifts. And we are absorbing through our auric fields. Sensory-wise, it feels like it's absorbing through our skin. And yet at the moment we are not of skin. We are far beyond skin. We are receiving countless possibilities, potentialities, inspired creations. We have only to call upon these, to open them, to act on them. And right now there is just a little clearing in the third chakra. There's a little wavering of somewhere instability, a little bit of fear, and that's being cleared out. Perhaps being out in the galaxy might be too far for some, and yet we are held with great strength and love, safety. And there are many brothers and sisters on the unseen who are assisting us. There are many colors and many realms, and each individual experiences their own, and yet they are all occurring at once. And we all find ourselves now in front of a very, very old soul who has overseen this arena of the galaxy, of our universe, for eons. She is she's presenting herself as very old. She has lived all the indigenous tribal types on this earth. She knows them all. And each reach into the same core. She is presenting herself as one of the oldest crones. And yet, of course, in a moment she could present herself as exquisitely beautiful. So at the moment she is impressing upon us this incredible experience of life, so many times over. And this is now funneling through to us her great knowing, her absolute trust in the earth, her wisdom, is now coming to us through our connection into the core of the earth, rising through our feet and legs. And we have only to call upon her at any time for her assistance, her advice, her direction. And she has extraordinary strength and love. as she embraces each one of us, leaving us to return to our earth, leaving that part of the universe, the galaxy, encouraging us to come back in through the 8th chakra. Entering once again into the 7th, occupying our vehicles, our bodies, knowing that these great beings are available always. We have only to ask. And so we give thanks to Isis, to Saraswati, to this old crone, to the Christ consciousness, to the Father, Mother of our souls, the life force power of the universe, Mother Earth. As we occupy our bodies, feeling the ground beneath our feet, perhaps breathing a little bit stronger to come back, and taking your time